Hi everyone, this is the landscape I'll be painting for the art school live session. I thought this might be a good video so you can see how I built it up in the first place instead of just seeing it being adjusted. As you can see from the reference photo, it's a beautiful ochre slope with some evergreens poking here and there. Some are different temperatures, and we have the beautiful blue mountain in the background and the cloudy sky. This is a fall photo. It's near Meridian Hot Springs in British Columbia. So let's just get started here. Now, no palette today, but I just want to show how I go about painting this and talking about it more or less. And I'm just getting a really thin mixture of just ultramarine blue and transparent red oxide, just to lay things out where I want, making marks on the canvas. You can adjust where the slope starts and stops, but I pretty much cropped it the way I wanted it in the photo, so give it a go. Slight arc. I'm just planning things out here. And then the mountain comes something like this. We can exaggerate it or not. Just looking at distances here. I don't want those to be the same. This is here, this is the distance. And we have here is pretty much where a tree is here. You can mark it on your tape. Give yourself reference to where everything is. Because the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scrub in the sky. Just because the trees are in front of it. And I use the Viridian and Cobalt Blue. I got to get the right value. Usually 10 or 20%. I really like these cards. I make them myself. If you ever see me anywhere, I carry them with me. So you can ask for one, but they're just a value card from 10 to 80. And you make your mixture, put it on the card. And right now, this is running about 20%. So we'll try that for the sky. We might come down lighter as we go. Now, I'm not going to worry about a focal point here. I'm just prepping it for the Art School Live event. If you're coming in watching this after the live event from July 23rd, 2026, use the link below to see the Art School Live event, and where I adjust the focal point from suggestion from everyone watching. It's going to be quite interesting. Right now, I'm just trying to just create what I see in the photo. I kind of like the neutrality of it all on a cloudy day, so that's how I'm going to scrub it in, and then that way we can make adjustments on the fly tomorrow. But I thought this would be a good video to see how I just build a painting anyway. I use these bristle brushes. Long filberts, I prefer those. After a while they get worn into something I really like. And what I like painting on white, it creates some nice scrubby marks. If you want an interesting sky, no matter how small or thin, create vertical marks or slightly angular marks. The more horizontal, the more calming and in some ways uninteresting. It all depends. So this is kind of a neutral sky. As I progress up, I'll go a little bit darker, and I'll just use ultramarine blue. I'm not worried about matching the temperature or anything like that. I'm just neutralizing that blue a little bit and getting it in there. And I find, like all these clouds you'll see in the reference photo go across, I'm going to angle it a little bit. Get that in there, and then I'm just going to bring that in. Wipe my brush. And then what I can do is I can soften that. So it just creates a nice gradation between the two. This might bug you right now. Maybe some marks or something like that might bug you as you paint this, but you don't have to worry about that because once you get everything in, this will become interesting. So that's a little bit darker, not much. Maybe I scrubbed off too much. Put that in. All right, now go down to the lighter version. And as I go down in the sky towards the horizon, I like to use more Viridian than I do Cobalt Blue, because Viridian, although it is a cool green, it is a warm blue, which I love. I need a little more contrast there. There we go. Wipe that out, and I'll just blend. And I'm coming over the mountain a little bit, but it doesn't matter. And remember, we're not picking a focal point right now, so if I had in the mind that this sky was the focal point, then I'd be pushing some of the values in it. But right now I'm not. I'm going to adjust the sky up top again, just to get a little more darkness into it, I guess. We'll see. I'm not worried about all the clouds that go across either. That's not really what I'm interested in. And this will be the ochre. Pretty simple. I'm just using a yellow ochre. I'm going to add a little bit of green to it. Maybe transparent red oxide to help kill it a little bit. Here we go. We got to get the right value. And what you can do, if you have one of these cards, you can put it against your photo. I'll put it against my reference photo on my iPad. And it's actually quite dark, right? It's about a 50% gray for this ground plane. So I'll just make sure I use it like that, put it on. It's a bit chromatic, but that's fine, but it does match that value. How you know that this swatch matches that value is after you put your dab on, you can squint, and if the edges of that paint swatch melt into the gray, then you know it's the same value. Wipe that off. You can buy something like this or similar in your art stores without a doubt, but I like these because they're very inexpensive for me to make and hand out. So I'll just scrub this in. You can see as it goes on the white, it does change value. Chroma starts to come out a little bit. Again, I'm not worried about creating a painting here. I'm just putting this in, getting ready for tomorrow. And the link for the Art School Live event is below in the description if you've missed it. If you've come over from the Art School Live event afterwards, welcome. Thanks for coming in. Check me out on Instagram at michaelking.ca. Website is michaelking.ca. You can check out my education on my website if you go to instruction. And I do have an Artful Minds podcast where I've interviewed some of the best artists today, and it's quite interesting. So we put this in. It seems very, very chromatic, so I'm going to have to kill it down. I think go into the ochre. I'm going to go into a little more sienna. I'm going to add some ultramarine blue, and I'm going to add some viridian green. And yeah, now I'm going to get this here. Oddly, this here comes a little bit lower. This triangle at the bottom that it creates, you would think by looking at the photo that the bottom area also angles down, but it doesn't. It just slightly angles up. It's an illusion. And then from here, this kind of angles this way as we come higher. And we'll just block this in. I'm just looking for general closeness to the photo right now. And of course, this line isn't perfectly straight in the photo either. So, adjust it, moving up and down. Some stuff here and there. This kind of gets blocked in. I'll worry about this section in a bit. There we go. That's kind of the area in the reference photo. It's a bunch of gravel and it has a violet tone to it, but it's a very muted violet. So what I'm going to have to do is go in and add some ochre to my violets. And it's more of a blue violet, a little more cobalt, and arguably the value, if I was to look at this, you want to think they're quite light, but they're not. They're about a 50% gray as well, so, or actually 40. So I'm going to use this. And scrubbing over the violet would be nice too, because it'll help neutralize this violet a little bit more. But it'll just get this in here so we can see and think it feels like what we see in the photo. Arguably a little bit violet, too violet, but that's okay. That's part of the painting process. There we go. We'll worry about that in a bit. And right now I think I'm going to worry about the trees, and it's quite a dark green. So simple ultramarine, Hansa yellow, maybe a touch of transparent red oxide just to kill that richness of the green a little bit. If we look at the photo, the trees are quite dark. I mean, they're not dark black, but they're running at 75, 80%. And then of course, when I place it on my canvas or this board, it will lose some pigment. So I'm just gonna put this here. I think this bigger tree, always make a decision where you're gonna put your various trees. And then we'll just put it in. You can see I kind of dib and dab. It's quite a thin tree, but there's a tree beside it. It comes down and kind of gets thicker at the base. There's a tree beside that. And they just melt together. If we want to bring one of these out later in the Art School Live session, we'll see how that goes. And they come quite down into the hillside. There's a small tree that does this. Generally on the same plane-ish. There's another one that comes right there. I haven't really changed my brush. No real need to. And then there's a bunch of trees here. And I'll just wing it. And there's another one here. Remember, this is just all for prep tomorrow but I'll try to get it as close as I can in some areas. This will come down. There's a tree here. I start off really light and then I just push harder. And for the peaks of the trees, I'll just go in and dib and dab. It all depends on your style. I'm very impressionistic. And of course we have this tree in the center, which is here within the mountain. So to maintain that, I'm going to actually bring it here. But that brings us here. Yeah, that works about right. So I got my proportions off on those trees, but it doesn't matter because you don't copy exactly what you have. And this comes down into here. So I'll just push, and then I'll add some dibs and dabs to make that a tree. Still with the same bristle brush. I'm working on a primed flat board, no canvas or linen on it. And there's this tree behind. And it comes up. And the intermix of the sky into the paint, well, it works great, I think. Don't worry about that too much. And then, of course, there's this tree here, but it's more of a bush. And then we have the small one here. So just looking at these spacings, trying to make them different. Here, I think there's an issue. It's just something I worry about. I don't think it's critical in any sense, depending. There we are. Bring this down. There are some various green grasses throughout here, so maybe I'll add the nuance of them throughout the hillside. Obviously, I think this hill got too dramatic. I'll adjust that in a moment. Actually, it's probably best to adjust it now. It came out really chromatic, so I could start scraping this off. But I think what I'll do is I'll just adjust it. And I keep just remixing my ochres, my siennas, my blues, and my greens. Yeah, not bad, not bad. I think the value is too dark, but lighten that up a bit. Sorry about not showing my palette, but it's just a quick idea to set this up so you guys could see everything. Putting this over the ochre, I think, helps. It gets lighter down here, but we'll worry about that in a second. That's a little more neutral. I like that. And as it comes to the right, it is a little bit lighter. You know, when you add white, it cools it down. So, I mean, it works on a cloudy day, but I do see a little more yellowy in this area. And you know, this is going to change so much in the Art School live demo. So just to get it in general, I think will work. And the violet that I had before, I think we can actually reduce or increase that value a little bit. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Just something to guide us in. You know, the natural kind of focal point really kind of brings here-ish. But it'll be interesting to see what everybody picks tomorrow. It's going to be a really fun session. So this mountain in the background is quite light in terms of value-wise. Believe it or not, it's pushing, well, not the lightest, maybe about 40%. But what is really deceiving is the chroma of this value is very strong, so it can be deceiving. And what I generally think to do is make it lighter than you think it is, because this will help push it in the distance a little bit more. I mean, if it was all about that mountain, then for sure let's increase the chroma. But it all depends on the blue you're using. Like I'm using cobalt. Cobalt only goes so far in value. If I go lighter and lighter, it'll lose chroma. So if you come across a mountain that has so much chroma that you want to copy it, but it's really light, you have to go to a phthalo blue. There's no two ways about it. It's transparent. It'll help get those beautiful chromatic blues you see sometimes. I'll bring that over. I'll adjust this. And as we get into the land, it darkens quite a bit, actually. It's more like a 70, but it's a neutral kind of greeny. So I'll just see if I can build off the tree color I have there. I probably won't make it as dark either. Yeah, I'll probably go down to 50. And whatever's on my brush kind of mixes into everything, you can kind of see, which I like because it creates an interest. Right, get rid of all the white bits. I'll soften that edge because it is in the distance. We kind of lose that tree a little bit. That's fine. I'll bring it back. Here, even with this mountain, let's Soften that, push it in the distance, and there's that effect where it gets lighter at the bottom. It's optical illusion. So we'll just scrape off paint to get that feeling. If you came back later, you could just add a different value. Let's fix those trees. I'm going to go down to a smaller. This is a number 5 bristle brush. I have been working with a 6, but let's get this trees a little fixed. They are darker in the photo, but that's the photo. Photos are deceiving, remember. Darks are usually lighter and lights are usually darker. Remember that. And I can't put them in super dark because then I'll have no place to go if I really want them darker. So let's adjust this. This looks like it comes here. These come. Make this a little bit taller. Make trees look like trees. You can always add some dibs and dabs. And then I'm going to make this a little fatter, whatever this little bush is. Get a sense of depth. Maybe I'll bring it over a little bit. And then this one can just stay behind. I gotta bring that ochre there. And then for the one in front, I'll just adjust it a little bit so we get a sense of more of a tree. And then of course, maybe what I can do is I can bring some of these greens in. It's a little bit too dark, just to get a sense of the various grasses. And you can see in the reference photo, we have some bulrushes coming up, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. It's not really that important to anything, in my opinion. Who knows, maybe someone in chat will choose the bulrushes to be the focal point, in which points it'll be quite interesting what I do to this. Everything will be on the fly, hopefully 2 or 3 different changes. You know, it will be interesting. And just because I want to be somewhat accurate, this tree in the front is a little more burnt sienna or transparent red oxide, so I'm going to adjust my mix to be a little more transparent red oxide in here. And in a sense, already it's making this tree kind of the focal point. There we go. It could be darker at the base. I don't want to get too picky because I want it a little more neutral for when we start tomorrow. There we go. Yeah, and of course, one thing that bothers me is just the way these trees are grouped together. I mean, in real life, they look fine. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just adjust this sky a little bit. And then when I come back in with the trees, I like that better. I think this comes down. I think that ochre comes up here. Get that sense of depth. And in terms of matching the paint or matching the reference photo, I mean, the colors are all off, of course. I think this still ends up being a little bit too chromatic. There is a little bit of that violet up here. But again, I'm not going for a finished painting. I'm just going in for the development for tomorrow. And I think that's good. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat below, of course. And if you watch this on Art School Live before coming here, thank you very much. If you're watching this first, head on over to the link in the description to see that episode on Art School Live. So I'll leave it there. Thanks, everyone. Cheers.